Hey guys, it's your girl Lisa with Real Movie Lovers here. And this week we're going to be discussing Harry Potter HBO series, officially finding it's Harry, Ron, Weasley, and Hermione Granger. We're going full steam ahead. Now, for those of you who have not heard about this, for some weird reason, I have no idea how, even if you were off the grid, I feel like you would have heard a whisper of something. HBO is producing a television series based on the Harry Potter books written by J.K. Rowling. And there was a little bit of controversy in the beginning because of who they cast for Snape, which I will be getting into a little bit. But before we do all of that, I kind of want to talk more about the three main young stars who are practically new to the industry. And my excitement for that. So we've got Dominic McLaughlin. Dominic McLaughlin. Y'all know I suck at names, so apologies. Dominic McLaughlin. He's going to play Harry Potter. And he was recently in a movie called Grow. That's his other acting credit that he's got. Arabella Stanton, who is going to be Hermione. She previously played Matilda, the musical, in London's West End. That's very impressive. And finally, Alistair Stout will be Ron Weasley. And he is the one with the least amount of credits coming into this. But they're all three of them fairly new, young and thriving. So this series is going to be directed by Mark Mylod. And the showrunner is Francesca Gardiner. And they're very excited about the casting of these three kids, which makes me kind of want to see what the audition looks like. I'm sure it's something they're going to release later, but I would love to just check out the audition tape. I'm very curious because they're excited about these three kids, which great. That means they blew them away in the casting process. And considering that there's already a predecessor. Oh my gosh, predecessor. What is wrong? I would say what is wrong with me today, but I'm normally tongue-tied, so predecessor. There it is. Considering there's a predecessor before where you've got Daniel Radcliffe, Emma Watson, and Rupert Grint, who played the original trio. There is a foundation there, so it'll be interesting to see how these kids maybe take inspiration or divert a little bit, because television is a different medium than movies. So they're going to have the chance to sit in the series and really dive into the characters and the surrounding characters. The original three will always be the OG for me. The OGs. Always. However, I am excited for this new generation and the opportunity to explore further, because each season of the show will be based on each book. So there are 7 books in the series, but they mentioned 9 seasons. So I'm wondering, are they going to go off book? But that's a lucrative deal, especially if they're successful, to be signed on for 9 seasons off rip. So they've got John Lithgow playing Albus Dumbledore. And I am a fan of John. I've seen him do serious drama, goofy, menacing. He has layers to him.
I don't think that's funny.
Then you'll probably hate this.
He's a very talented actor, and he has expressed that this is probably the last thing he'll take. This is kind of his career is winding down. He's getting old, up there in age, and this is probably the last major thing he's going to do before he retires. So that's very exciting, because he's 79 right now. And when he's done, if they go the full 9 seasons, he'll be 87, which is wild to think. And let's see. I don't know who Janet McTeer is, but they've got Nick Frost playing Hagrid. I didn't even know that. Listen. I think I have watched most of the things that he has been in, and I've always enjoyed them. And he definitely gives me the Hagrid feel. R.I.P. to the original Hagrid, Robbie Coltrane. I think that Nick is going to do a great job filling in and honoring. I think he's got that jolly, easygoing, fun thing about him, the way that Hagrid did, So I like that. So I'm excited, but you got some people who are not excited. Some of the critics online are saying, meh, I've already lost interest. Another one said, no, this won't work. And another person said, what? This is going to be the stupidest TV show ever. Will it make one whole season? I think I rarely get upset or talk trash or have a negative output on casting. I said rarely. I didn't say it would never happen. Okay. Think about Batman. I feel like every time they announced a Batman, like when it was Michael Keaton, oh man, are you kidding me? Mr. Mom. Now he's one of people's favorites Batmans. Or when they cast Heath Ledger as Joker, are you kidding me? No. Now he's one of the best Jokers in the history of the series. People don't know what the heck they're talking about the majority of the time. And they look, and I'm not saying that I'm not guilty of doing this either. I'm not saying that. But they'll look at like an actor who's been in certain things and they'll be like, this person's going to do this role. Wait and see. They are an actor. They can change things up. Some actors have range. Some do not, but are still good at what the roles they actually get. So let's see. Now, that being said, I guess we have to talk about Snape. When they first announced the casting for Severus Snape, I was one of those people that was like, no. And part of that is because of Alan Rickman, He so defined that role for me that it was hard to see anybody. It didn't matter who they casted for that role. My attitude was, that's not my Snape. I told you guys, I'm guilty of doing the same thing that you guys do. Okay, I'm not perfect. I had to remind myself that A, it's a whole different format. They're doing things differently and to receive it as such. B, I have no idea how this guy's going to do. I don't think I've seen him in anything that I can recall. I didn't look up anything, to be fair, either. But if he's cast as Snape and J.K. Rowling is approving of him, then that means his audition went great and he really has emboldened that moodiness. And I definitely need him to embolden that moodiness. It was like a dark cloud around Snape, and Alan Rickman did such a great job displaying that. I wasn't up in arms about it, like going crazy. I was just like, oh man, you know what I mean? But didn't matter who they casted in that. That was gonna be my response. So now I'm like, okay, I have to kind of, even though the OGs will always be the OGs, I'm going to look at this in a different lens, a different light, and just see how they do. Because again, in movies, they gotta like pick and choose and pull what they can to make the story going. Here, they have a whole season where they can like dive into the book, dive into the stories, and cover every story. And in a way, this may be retribution, okay, for how they piss me off in the movie series. I think it was Harry and the Half-Blood Prince. I think that's what it was. Whichever one where Ron was getting together with that girl Lavender, and they spent a good portion of the movie focusing on that love triangle because of him, Lavender, and Hermione. And I get it, but in doing so, they neglected a lot of crucial scenes and information about the Horcruxes. So I was not pleased. But considering there are 8 movies in the series and most of them are good, those are very good odds. Like technically they're all good. But only one really like annoyed me with how they handled it. So that's good odds. I'm not gonna whine and complain. But now I get to see more of it. Also, keep in mind, people, these are children. So let's not get too crazy, okay, about our fanatic love of the series, okay? Let's not start talking down about children. They're kids, okay? They're kids. There's not a lot of information on the first season and what it's going to be about, but if you read the books, then you know what season 1 is going to be about. Sorcerer's Stone. Which, honestly, now that I think about it, with the series coming out, I think I'm going to revisit the books. I think I'm going to do that. Yeah. I'm definitely going to do that, matter of fact. Again, I'm an OG forevermore. But because it's a totally different medium, you know, it's not like they're remaking the whole films and doing the films again. This is television. So we get to sit in things, we get to take our time. And I know for sure, well, I don't know for sure, but I feel very confident that they're going to dive deeper into these characters and introduce new characters, take our time with these characters. And this is a great opportunity for them to bring in new elements, new magic, new spectacles. So, and J.K. Rowling's involved, which she created the whole entire universe. So her making sure that the television series is kind of going to be keeping to the books, but also bringing more new creative ingenuity, I think it's a good thing. I know that there's course around her, but I pay more attention to the art than the artist, because if we took a look behind everything we use or watch, the deeper we look, the less we may like. Good Lord. All right, what say ye? Yay or nay? Are you guys in or out? Are you going to give this a chance? Are you going to at least kind of dive in and see what's going on, or have you already checked out? And do you like the casting? Is the casting doing it for you, or is that the reason why you're checking out? Let me know. And if you like the video, hit that like button, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you can always update on what's going on. And I want to give many thanks to my top tier patrons, Von Kurt and Thelma. Thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you guys. And if you're looking to support me as well, head over to my Patreon, NXG Global Productions, where I drop exclusive content, early access, behind the scenes, as well as writing and production tips. I'm trying to build a community and we'll love to have you guys be a part. All right, check you guys later. See you in the next video.